down into the dark waters.
Ghost nets, usually made of non-biodegradable materials, are lost or discarded fishing gear that float through the ocean waters, strangling marine life.
The more I struggled, the deeper I fell into an abyss of plastic underworld. I was terrified.
The Great Garbage Patch, the Pacific Great Garbage Patch, is a swirling vortex of plastic that has gathered where ocean currents meet. When Zazu Dreams was published in 2017, the garbage patch was about twice the size of France. Recently, it was announced that the garbage patch now covers an area 3 times the size of France. More than 1 million single non-use biodegradable bags are used every 60 seconds. The average US consumer uses approximately 1,200 plastic bags per year. In the United States alone, 50 billion petroleum plastic water bottles are discarded each year. By the year 2050, plastic will be found in 99% of seabirds, and there will be more visible plastic in our oceans than fish. So we've entered into this age of climate anxiety, I think for a lot of people. And so we can, in the Q&A, I'd like to talk a little bit about what are your responses to when you hear all these statistics. We're inundated with statistics. And then there are sometimes technical solutions like replacing petroleum plastic with compostables. But compostables, for example, are often not a solution because of the way they're produced using monocrops and Monsanto, glyphosate, Roundup, so all the pesticides, and also the way they degrade is not feasible for people's home composts. So it's a question of looking at the bigger picture and not just replacing one fossil fuel problem with another possibly bigger problem with renewables. So that's one thing that the book explores also.
As ghost nets tightened around me, I remembered how my sea friends suffer from even more than plastic trash. Noise from sound cannons and boats confuse dolphins and whales' echolocation communication, while poisonous chemicals from paints, motor oil, flame retardants, pesticides, and fertilize enter the gills of fish. And then whales and humans eat the fish, and we are also poisoned in this lethal food chain. A giant Nemora, a monstrous iridescent jellyfish, bigger than my grandpapa Don, got twisted near the strangulating mess of plastic trash.
Jellyfish are considered the cockroaches of the ocean, not just surviving global warming, but thriving because they're thriving, the jellyfish, because warm waters increase jellyfish reproduction. Sea slugs are jellyfish predators, and those, when they lose their habitat and die, then jellyfish, there's an even bigger overpopulation of jellyfish. And in contrast, sea slugs, there's a compound that's used in their bodies as a healing agent. So there are companies who are doing investigations on how to harvest from sea slugs. Again, something questionable as we look for solutions, quote unquote.
Finally, some small fish swam into the mound of tangled garbage and began chewing away the plastic with their sharp, beak-like teeth. They were cutting me loose. I heard a distant voice.
The only ones you see.
It was the voice of Jacques Cousteau. It was echoing my heroes Winnie and Nelson Mandela.
It's only impossible until it's done.
Cousteau's entire life focused on protecting the oceans. The Mandela's entire lives focused on defending human rights.
And I'm just going to repeat those quotes since they're so powerful, I believe. So Cousteau said, "The impossible missions are the only ones which succeed." And Mandela, "It's always impossible until it's done."
Cousteau and the Mandelas, like the fish, came to my rescue, keeping me calm and determined. Finally swimming as fast as I could, I made it up the water's surface. Kokomiso and the humpback held on to me. We all began to laugh. We were so relieved to be alive. We realized later that all this visible trash that almost made us drown is not even as dangerous as microplastic pollution.
Tiny particles that we can barely see are even worse for our sea life and our bodies because they block our respiratory system and bloodstreams. These cancer-causing particles absorb toxins and migrate through the food chain, poisoning fish, then humans. In 2015, the Story of Stuff project successfully banned plastic microbeads in California and won their lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson. Their success has dramatically affected global markets, including the EU. They successfully banned single-use plastics. This is an amazing empowerment model for all of us who hold ourselves and corporations accountable.
Is this what Mama meant when she told me that I was old enough to begin to understand how the choices I make, even back then as a 4-year-old child, impact so many people and things around me? She taught me that this huge responsibility we all share is exciting and can be full of love. Questioning what we think we know is an act of love.
I understood more and more that there is so much work to be done, that the only way to heal ethnic and racial divisions and the ecology of our global body is to see how we are all interconnected. We all have to take care of each other. I understood more and more that there is so much work to be done, that the only way to heal ethnic and racial divisions and the ecology of our global body is to see how we are all interconnected. We all have to take care of each other.
Woohoo! Thank you, Zazu.
Imba wimbo wa upepo wakati unajuana. Imba wimbo wa upepo wakati undoto tamu. As a response to my own challenge of how to weave social justice and environmental ethics into our daily lives, Rob and Zazu and I bought a used school bus. We shared our dreams of living in a tiny home that we would make ourselves using only reclaimed materials. We also included our bat service dog, Mac, and it took us 30 days and a total of $5,000 to transform the community school corporation bus into our new cozy love bus, saving it from its fate of being stripped, sold, and crushed. Our family brainstormed to change our habits, and we discovered unexpected solutions. We felt like dung beetles that use others' waste to rebuild their home and feed their family, or like sea slugs that eat debris off the ocean floor.
Like the humpback whale character in Zazu Dreams reminded us, when humans throw things away, they've got to understand that there is no away. Instead, we must all learn from waste-consuming creatures that coexist with their environments.
How we build our home using only repurposed materials parallels how we build our sense of belonging and can be a demonstration of our deepest sense of self and our deepest sense of community.
So I've been really lucky to work with other woodworkers at an off-the-grid community called Earth Haven Eco Village, and been making some beautiful furniture that we've named the woodworking Menagerie Woodworking. Menagerie, wild animals. It's a collection of wild animals, so I have a collection of wild animal furniture, and the furniture is all repurposed, reclaimed, or rescued materials, hand carved and draw shaved, and it's all run on our micro hydro creek power. So it's off the grid, but it's powerful enough to create amazing furniture. The furniture is a way to help bring nature also inside.
How we build, how we perceive our social permaculture choices can determine how we rebuild democracy. Instead of playing off guilt, we build on love, radical love. The word radical comes from the Latin for root.
And the root is our collaborative daily choices. So, Cara and I have really continued to make choices, bringing the way that we bring our son up, the way that I make furniture, the way that Cara interacts with people, writes. We've left some industries behind that were more polluting and took a lot from our ecosystem instead of giving back to our ecosystem. And what we talk a lot about, what Cara talks a lot about in Zazu Dreams, is about not being greenwashed. So we don't want to take one thing to think that we're doing something better when actually we're just continuing the same amount of consumption.